What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm out here working today and not doing much at the moment, waiting for some orders to come in. And I've had a few comments on some of my videos recently asking me to do a video talking about what PBA tournaments I am able to compete in and what PBA tournaments I am not able to compete in. You know, somebody like me coming up from the amateur side of things. So I figured right now is as good a time as any to do that. So anyway, as far as tournaments are concerned, now that I've got my membership with PBA and I'm able to access the tournament side of the website, I'm able to view the different types of events that are out there. And the biggest thing to understand is that the PBA Tour as a whole breaks the events into essentially three separate tiers. So, for example, you've got Tier 1, which, as far as I know, contains majors only. You've got Tier 2, which contains pretty much standardized events. And standardized events are going to be things like regionals, I'm pretty sure. And then you've got Tier 3, which are limited events only, or limited fields, tournaments that have, maybe only a maximum of 70 players allowed to enter the tournament, or maybe a tournament that only allows, doubles competition, that kind of thing. So those are going to be like the limited field events. Now, the reason why these tiers are so important is because as you compete in events, how you do or how you place in one of those events is going to determine how many points you end up with at the end of that tournament. Now, these points, of course, accumulate over the season. They don't go away, so no matter what place you find yourself in, whether that's first place or last place, you will earn points. Of course, those points will change based upon your position in the tournament. And those points will go up or down based upon the tier level of the event that you're competing in. So, for example, if I remember correctly, Tier 3, Tier 3 is what they base the points off of as a whole for Tier 1, 2, and 3 events. But it starts at the Tier 3 level. So, first place at the Tier 3 level is 2,500 points. If you win the event on Tier 2 level, that point value is doubled, so 5,000 points. If you win an event on the Tier 1 level, majors, that point total, of course, is now tripled, so that goes up to 7,500 points. And like I said, as the position in the tournament gets lower and lower that you place in, those point values go down and down. And I'm not sure how they rank the percentages or how those points change. I just know for certain those are the first place points at each tier level. Now, you may be asking yourself, why are these points so important? Well, these points, as they accumulate over time, not only control your standings on the PBA, whether you're ranked like, for example, the number 1 player, the number 5 player, and on down the list, but it also controls what other events you can actually get into. I'm sure most of you are aware some events on the PBA are invite only, and those point totals play into whether or not you receive an invite for that particular tournament. And some tournaments require you to have a certain amount of points overall to even enter the tournament. And if you don't have that certain amount of points to enter that tournament, then you have to go through what's called the PTQ, pre-tournament qualifier. The pre-tournament qualifier, of course, the main objective of that mini tournament, let's just call it, it's a tournament that's held, of course, on the same condition that you're going to be competing in the main event. But anyway, the main focus of the PTQ is to take a certain amount of players, I think it's like the top 8, top 10, something like that, and those players are allowed entry into the main tournament. And the only players that qualify or are able to bowl the PTQs are players that don't have enough points to qualify them for the main tournament. So the point totals also have implications for awards. Awards like Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, certain overseas tournaments, those point totals allow you to qualify for those tournaments as well, so you can actually go to those tournaments. And the last thing is that I know for sure that they have an impact on is the PBA playoffs at the end of the season. They only do the top 24 players, and those are the players that are allowed to compete in the PBA playoffs, which in the end, in the long run, affects your earning capability. Because, as a player, not only do you have the opportunity, of course, to win money from a tournament that you compete in, but at the end of the season, you want to make that top 24 so you have the opportunity to compete in the playoffs, because the playoffs is where a lot of the money from the PBA comes from. So Anyway, guys, that's kind of a summary of tournaments on the PBA, the points list on the PBA, and what the points mean. You know, as far as a player like me, my focus going forward over the next year is going to be PBA regional events, and I'm pretty sure those are tier 2 events. So I'm going to be focusing on hitting regionals. If I have the opportunity to try a major here or there and I've got the points to get into a major, why not? More earning potential, more capability to earn points. But my focus right now is to start doing regionals, get my competition started on that end of things, because it's going to be a whole new world for me. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video today. Please leave a like below and hit that subscribe button for me, because it does help me out a ton. And I will see you guys in the next video, which should be tomorrow, for League Night.